Hello, everybody. My name is Great Eagle, Sim Pilot. I'm a real-world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Welcome to another live stream. This one is the Memorial Day live stream I should have done, but was too busy having fun, spending time with family and friends. So here we are. We're going to pick up where I should have left off here in Springfield. We'll be taking the United A320 merger livery. So you get the little mismatched engine nacelles there. You get the mismatched engine nacelles as well as the Continental logo and colors, but it says United instead of Continental on there. So there we go. We got the Continental United merger livery that will be taken on up to Chicago, and then it looks like I'm the only one online. Yep, that figures. Tomorrow, what I think we'll do is do some real world Delta A330 ops from Detroit. We're going to pick back up, so a little disconjointed because the whole plan was to go from Denver, Springfield, Chicago, Indy, Detroit. So that's why it's going to be a little disconjointed there, but that's okay. So we'll pick back up where we left off on our turn and burn, and we'll do some real world Delta 330 ops from Detroit down to Atlanta. So don't miss out on some A330 flying there. But without further ado, let's get to it. Let's hop right onto the flight deck here. And the aircraft is powered on, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and import our flight plan from the briefs of Sim. There we go. Let's go ahead and move up to the overhead panel. We'll get IR 1, 2, and 3 going. Excellent. We'll come all the way down to our recorder ground control. Everything else looks good here. We'll turn on the recorder ground control and do a CVR test. That sounds good to me. We'll look at our oxygen panel here. Looks good. Calls look good. And our ring repellent, that looks good as well. Coming on up to the middle of the overhead here. We'll test engine fire 1. APU fire test. And engine 2 fire test. Excellent. Hydraulic and fuel all looks good. We'll go ahead and turn the batteries off. Bring up the electrical page if we can. And we'll turn that back on. Let's see what happens here. No. Still not getting the decreasing voltage. It is what it is. Everything else on the electrical panel looks good. Let's just turn these down a hair, even though there's nothing connected. That's quite all right. I like to have that pre-selected. Everything else on the air conditioning panel looks good. Engine, the anti-ice panel looks good. Per window heat, auto. Cabin pressurization is auto. Everything else is extinguished. Let's see. Our lights are set how I would like them to. Let's go ahead and get the APU up and online. Excellent. We'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. So no smoking is on. The seatbelt sign is off. That's good. Come on up to the first officer side. The PA switch is on. And about the 3 o'clock position there. VHF 3 is in data. That looks good. Flight control all looks good there. We'll crank that cargo heat up just a little bit there. Cargo smoke panel looks good. Ventilation looks good. And the engine start panel all looks good there. Coming over to the main glare shield here from left to right. I said main glare shield, just the glare shield. We want to make sure everything is extinguished as we head on over to the EFIS. We want to make sure we have a flight director on. Current QNH 3006, so that's good. Constraints are 10 nautical miles, and we don't need the VR or ADF. Coming over to the FCU, we want digits or dashes displayed. That all looks good. We want to be in heading vertical speed with all the push buttons extinguished. Same thing on the first officer's EFIS. We don't need the VR or the ADF. We want 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints on. QNH is set with the flight director on. All of his push buttons are extinguished over there. The main instrument panel here. I'll turn the brightness down just a smidge. Excellent. PFD on the left, MD on the right. The ISIS is aligned. Our ECAM displays are in the correct orientation. The brake fan is off. Landing gear is down and 3 green. So that looks good. Anti-skid nozzle steering is on. Our date and time are for the most part correct. Landing gear is down with no red arrow. First officer side. ND's on the left. PFD's on the right. And I'll go ahead and adjust his brightness a little down as well. It's a little cloudy out today. Coming on down to the center pedestal. We have V252785s. That all looks good with a valid date. We'll go to the initialization. We'll request that. All of that data looks good there. So on the first officer side, I'll go ahead and we go to the AOC menu, get that preliminary load sheet, and I'll just leave that sitting there. The RMP looks good on the captain side. ACP is also set. Integral lighting is as we needed. The radar is off. Coming up to the center of the pedestal here. Let's go ahead and recall any messages. Nope, we have normal. That looks good. We'll clear that. We want to make sure our trim is at 0. Thrust levers are at idle. Engine mode selectors or engine masters are off. Mode selector is normal. Our spoilers are, speed brakes are retracted. Flaps are up. We have digits displayed in the rotor trim there, and our gravity gear extension is stowed. Coming over to the first officer side, we already did the FMGC pre-flight there, so that's good. We'll go ahead and put them on VHF 1 as ACP looks good, integral lighting looks good, and we have a auto ATC of 1712, so that's in there. Let's go ahead and check the alternate braking system, shall we? We'll go ahead and press down both brakes, release the parking brake. I'll do press the left brake and press it down. The right brake, I'll press it back down. And we'll go ahead and set that parking brake again, and I can let go of the brakes. Excellent. While we're here, let's check our engine oil, hydraulic quantity levels, status messages, no class 2 messages, that looks good, and 1800 psi on the oxygen, that looks good. Alrighty. So now that we got all of that done, let's go ahead and we can begin boarding. Mass and balance. Load the aircraft, GSX boarding, and refueling. I wonder, do I need to do this? Reload sim brief? You're too late for your try another time. Okay, whatever. Let's do that. 163 passengers. Is that what we were planning on? I don't know how many passengers we were. 163. Seems like a lot. Yeah, 163. So I did pull it in from SimBrief. Cool. Don't have to worry about that then. That's going to take a while for it to load up. Quite all right. Well, it may or may not take a while to load up. Who knows? This evening we are going to be a United Airlines UAL 3318. We will have a, let me bring up our tablet here. A cost index of 5, 33,000 feet, so a cost index of 5. 330 is going to be our altitude, plus 5 on the ISA, so that's going to be minus 40. The current ground temperature in Springfield is going to be 20 degrees. Nice and warm out there in Springfield. Very nice out there. Let's go over to our init B page. We're going to pull some of this data over from our FOCDU here, so or FMGC. So we got a zero fuel weight of 131.0, 131.0 with a zero fuel weight CG of 31.7. We have a planned block fuel of 17.5. And a reserve, alternate fuel of 1.7. That's up to Milwaukee. So we'll do 1.7 for our alternate, 0 for our route reserve, Didn't really see what the weather was doing here. Springfield, we have calm winds. Okay. If that's the case, we can take off on 2. And then it's a quick taxi. 2 or 3-2. It doesn't really matter. 3-2 is a slightly longer taxi because there's not a real... It's doing it. It's refueling. Let's do 2 since that's going to be the shortest taxi. So we'll just do 2. Take off of Springfield, runway 2. No SID. We'll insert that. GPS primary. That looks good. Alrighty. So there's no SID. Let's see. We got direct Springfield, direct Welts for the Shane 2. 10 center. 10 center, I think, is going to be the runway. Yeah, 10 center is what I have planned here. So we'll go to arrivals. 10 center. Shane 2. And that's going to be the... Ooh. I forgot the transition already. Waltz. Is that... Are we sure about this? Both chain 2. Where is Welts? Okay. It should be an arrival. It should be a transition. Oh. That was weird. There we go. I don't know what that was all about. And also, let's see. Is there a transition? Gibbons. This is Gibbons. And then Barry. This ends at... Oh, it ends on a heading. So we won't do Vias. No Via. Yeah, we'll leave that as is. Gibbons. That way we have all the fixes when we get there. Okay, yeah, that all looks good. Yep. We can verify that route real quick. We got a plan 10 nautical miles off of Springfield, runway 2. We can continue straight ahead out to 2764. We'll proceed on course to Springfield VOR. From there, we'll go direct to Welts. And Welts is the transition on the Shane 2 arrival. We have 403 nautical miles, and 415 is what's the plan there. So that all looks good. We'll do the arrival briefing once we level off and cruise. That way we can, we're not doing all the work here on the ground. Excellent. Let's go and get some winds inserted here. There we go. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and we got Springfield, runway 2. Sync at 2001 50.2. There we go. And we'll calculate that out and we'll send it to the McDo. There we go. That should be good. The winds are uplink. Performance, we have 128, 130, 134, flaps 3 flex. That looks good. We'll go over to the descent phase. Do a 290 descent. That should be fine. Not worried about any terrain out here for our EO. So we'll go ahead and copy our secondary flight plan there. Excellent. Alrighty, ADIRSs are aligned. Recorder ground control is on a catcher checklist. The altimeter, it looked like it was saying 3007. 3007. So yeah, let's go ahead and correct that once, twice, and thrice. There we go. Let's see. We'll go ahead and put terrain on ND. Our park and brake is on and checked. Our ACP and RMP are set. We're looking on the data page here for 3714.7. We have 3714.4 and 093 23.3, 093 23.7. So that's good enough. ND looks correct. Our PFD, we have V1, V2, climate nav blue, flight directors 1 and 2. We can go ahead and check our oxygen. That all looks good. We can ask our ghost FO if he's ready for a briefing. Yep, what are your threats? Pretty quick taxi out. Yeah, I would say the same. We'll mitigate that threat by pushing back, starting both engines, and we'll do everything to to the line on the before takeoff checklist there before we actually start moving, so that we're not we don't have a time pressure of doing everything on the way out. Speaking of our taxi out, we'll taxi out via Echo and Uniform to runway 2. Plan on doing a flaps 3 flex standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we reject for? Nope. Alrighty then, excellent. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to about 5,000 or 6,000 feet, clean up the aircraft, run the ECAM, and we can plan on making a return to runway 32 since it's a little bit longer. Otherwise, we'll have to go searching for an airport. Ooh, oh wow. Okay, I didn't think that was going to work. Maybe they've made improvements to the EFB after all. We might have to take it on down the road to St. Louis that has a slightly longer runway there for us to use if we need a lot longer runway. So there's St. Louis. Otherwise, is there another airport that has a longer runway? I have no clue. XNA, Fayetteville. I don't know how long the runway is in Fayetteville, but that's another place we could go. Either way. Otherwise, plan on going. There's no ATC online, so we'll just take it all the way up to flight level 330. There we go. We have Unicom setting our standby. We're squawking 1712 from auto ATC. Any questions? Nope, no questions. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. Well, I think we're done refueling. Yep, we are. Excellent. We can turn the external power off. APU bleed can come on. Seatbelt sign can come on. We're just waiting for them to finish up down below. And let's go ahead and check our fuel on board balance with the pumps on. Hydraulics still all look good. Our pressurization is an auto with the correct altitude. And our engine oil all looks good there. I'll go ahead and we'll put that on perf. And we'll return here. I'll return one more time, waiting on the final load sheet. Excellent. Let's see. They're still doing a thing outside. Oh, wow. They have a decent amount of loading to be had there. So, let's go ahead and put a little something on while they finish loading up the bags here. It's very interesting that GSX can load the people faster than the bags, but I mean, in real life, the checked bags, you know, there's always a cutoff time for your checked bags, and that's the exact reason there's a cutoff time for your checked bags, because they got to get sorted out and sent to the correct gate, and those bags actually start getting loaded before you even start boarding. So really, at the end of the boarding process, what you're really waiting on are the gate checked bags. So, you know, like wheelchairs, strollers, stuff like that. You go into a place like Orlando where a lot of people are going to Disney World who get a ton of strollers. So it really does take them quite a long time after everyone's on board to get all of that stuff down to the bottom and load it onto the aircraft. But what a beautiful day it's starting to become out here. It was looking real gloomy earlier today. when I took the screenshot to put up for the little what do they call it, the little review pic for the stream. So that is looking a little bit nicer. I don't think Chicago is much better though. Oh no, you can't see him there. There we go. Real life view of a passenger looking out the window there at their bags being loaded up. Almost done with the bags there. Looks like he only has a few more. The one chair looks like the aft bin is all done. Let's see. Yep. Looks like they're closing it up. He has a few more here. I was hoping that they would have like a continental type of colors for GSX, seeing as we're kind of in like the little blend delivery there, where it's like a little bit of continental. It's mostly continental with the United name. Looks like this guy's done. He's just waiting on that last bag to get all the way up there and load it in. There goes the train. Alright, let's go back up front. They're all done loading below. We'll go ahead and close the door. We can get rid of our external power and chocks. GPU chocks are gone. Let's go ahead and turn the beacon light on. Our door is closed. It's gonna be... no. GSX, why you're freaking out? I got 4 doors armed. We have our pants. Excellent. Why are you freaking out? Continue pushback, nose right. There we go. We'll release the parking brake. Then we'll go. Let's get our final load sheet first. Atsu. I was already there. I just had to hit receive messages. Load sheet. There we go. We'll accept that. 131.1. So 131.1. And 1.7. That looks good. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Leave that on that page. And I'll flip back to this page. And we can go ahead and silence our little turn music there. Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the volume of the sim. All right, let's go ahead and crank those engines, shall we? Brake set, clear to disconnect the interphone. Forgot to run before start checklist. I was so busy trying to look at all the stuff. See, that's the thing. I get so distracted trying to look around the sim and stuff like that. All right, let's go ahead and do it. The recorder ground control is off now that we got the engines going. Flight forms and maintenance log is on board accepted. Aircraft is 4617. Let's see. Fuel quantity or onboard reviewed. Aircraft 4617. The fuel quantity 17. Let's see. 17.5 required. 17.4 on board. Take off performance count 128, 130, 134. Flex 55. Oxygen's checked. Seatbelt sign is on. ECAM is checked. Park brake is on and checked. MCDU is set. Altimeters 3007. Departure briefings reviewed. The 4-star checklist is complete. There we go. Better late than never. Let's get the second engine going. Alright, sounds are back down to a more reasonable level there. We have 2 good engine starts, flaps 3. Alrighty. All that's done. Let's do an after start checklist. Engine anti-ice we don't need. Our status has been checked. The rudder trim is 0. After start checklist is complete. We can go right into checking our flight controls. Pull up. Pull down. Neutral. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Rudders. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Alrighty, let's roll right into a before takeoff checklist. What do we have here? We have flaps, 3 planned and 3 indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Weight of 148.4. We're looking at 148.2. Step trim. We got 29.7%. Looking at 29.7%. Flight controls are checked. ECAM memo or takeoff, no blue before takeoff checklist is to the line. I'll be right back. I gotta go do something real quick. Alrighty. There we go. Sorry about that. I do have Unicom. The cabin is ready. That's good. I have Unicom or CTAF up. So, Springfield traffic. United 3318 is taxiing to runway 2 via Echo Uniform. Springfield traffic. Excellent. We are clear on the left, and obviously we are clear on the right. So, do I have the taxi light on? Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and release the brake and get on scooting. I go ahead and get all of this stuff done down here, so we're ready to go below the line whenever that is time. I didn't say before. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. There we go. When we make the turn on uniform, we'll go below the line. And turn that brightness up just a little bit. There we go. Since it's actually starting to get a little bit more sunny out. Alrighty, let's go below the line. Runway and FMS. Did you on flight plan, you on performance? I got runway 02 in the box on the screen. And out the window, that is checked. Minimum takeoff. Fuel. 17.1 is recorded. We got 17.2 on board. Flight attendants notified. Engine mode. Norm. TCAS TARA. Before takeoff checklist is complete. Springfield traffic. United 3318 departing runway 2 will be departing the pattern to the north. Springfield traffic. There we go. Final appears to be clear. No one appears to be on the runway. I haven't heard anyone on the radio, so we will go ahead and let the flight attendants know. Taking the runway, we'll get all of our lights on. Excellent. I'll bring the volume up. There we go. Should be about right there. That should be plenty good. And maybe I'll bring it down a notch. There we go. Alright, here we go. 1.05 on the Eeper. Half down on the side stick. Looks good. Engine stable. Flex. Thrust set. $80 checked. P1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Alrighty, land this con in now. We'll go direct to the Springfield VOR. Excellent. Climb. Climb is sad. Alright, get the autopilot on. We'll get to the back for a flap retract here. Flaps 1. Springfield traffic, United 3318 3800, departing the pattern to the north. Springfield traffic, last call. Excellent. We'll go ahead and switch over to a Unicom, and we'll go to the back for upsell. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know what it is. Is this simulator looking even better today than it has in the past? I have no clue. Alright, let's go ahead and disarm the spoilers here. There's speed brakes, and after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are up, and we are pressurizing. The after takeoff checklist is complete. Excellent. Oh, look at the sun rays. Absolutely beautiful. What's the temperature outside? Don't even have to worry about the engine anti-ice. Absolutely beautiful. I'll bring the sim volume down back to a more normal level there. Excellent. We get a nice beautiful breakout here. Absolutely love it when you get to fly just barely on top of the clouds. You're just clipping the top along. Alrighty then, we're through 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get all of our lights off. We can let the flight attendants know we are now out of the Staro flight deck. Beautiful. She's climbing up quite nicely. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic evening out there. So we climb on up to 33,000 feet on the way up to Chicago. Looking forward to the stream tomorrow when we hop in the I&I Builds A330. I've only flown it once before, but gonna try to get at least 2 more streams in this week with the A330. And then after that, it will be back on the grind, back to work, making the donuts for my company. There's our shot right there. Little slightly less clouds on this side of the aircraft. Probably right after this stream. I'm thinking the stream would get done. It's only one leg, so it shouldn't take too long, and I think it'll get done right before Camjet Flight Sim goes live. So I'll probably pop on over into his stream after I'm done with this. Say hello to him there. See him flying around in the TBM 930. That's quite a fun airplane to fly. I'm thinking here, I gotta get everything still set up, and obviously I have to get a few practice flights in, but I kind of want to do some either Saab or ATR flying in the Great Lakes region here, just popping in and out of some of these small airports. Do some like turn and burn madness or something like that. So we'll see. Again, like I said, I gotta get everything kind of set up and ready to go there in terms of like get my Bravo throttle quadrant set up, and then obviously getting a few practice flights in because I haven't flown the Saab at all, and I haven't flown the ATR in quite some time. I think since it came out for 2020. I literally haven't even flown it in 2024. And that's a unique airplane because of the APU. It's just the engine number 2, and they use a brake on the propeller to stop it from spinning, and they just use the engine as an APU. Let's check what altitude. Are we through transition? Oh, we're well through transition. What is the current meter in Chicago? Looked like that was a little bit of a wind update there. Weather Yes. 3005. So we'll do 3005 standard, set once, set twice, and set thrice. There we go. We'll continue our climb all the way up to 33,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get that external light turned off. It's looking like a smooth ride. I'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign turned off as well. Yeah, it's not really that windy out here or there, so we can expect a pretty smooth ride. Let's see, how far are we to our first point along the arrival? We literally level off right before the first fix on the arrival. Okay. It is what it is. Let's get some in-flight entertainment going as well. There we go. A little bit of music for you. I've got to figure out why, I was looking at our takeoff weight versus our landing weight again in SimBrief, and it just seems like, SimBrief just always wants you to land at max landing weight, which is, I feel like, highly unrealistic. So I feel like they just kind of want to, they shove on as many passengers and cargo as they can. I don't know if it's randomly generated, but it always feels like we're always right just at max landing weight when we get to where we're going. Not cool, SimBrief. Because in real life, you're not really bumping up against your max landing weight that often, where you're consciously having to think about it. I can say, however, that where I do see it the most is when you take the Neo on a long flight, that's carrying all that extra gas. That's you're still going to be below your max landing weight, but it takes a really long time to get below your max landing weight. Ooh, she's been sluggish. Don't know why she's been so sluggish in the climb. It's very interesting. Probably because we took off at 148,000 pounds. That could do it. Usually the 320 can get on up. The 319 definitely has no issue getting up to 38,000 feet. The 320, it can do it. The 321, man, it'd take you all day. There'll be sometimes you'll be flying along in a 321 when you just never make it up to 36 or 38,000 feet. You just don't get up there. And usually it's the long flights. Again, the longer the flight, the more fuel you're carrying, the heavier you are. You know, the more passengers, the more cargo, the more fuel. Especially if it's wintertime and you're carrying a lot of extra fuel because of the headwind. Then it just takes forever for you to climb up the altitude, and you're only climbing up to like 32,000 feet. And then it'll take you the rest of the day. It almost feels like an entire day before you can even get to 36,000 feet, you know, or 34,000 feet. And just forget about 30, 38 or 39. That will just never happen unless you're like insanely light. Sounds like we have leveled off in cruise here. So, yeah, we're leveled off at 38,000 feet. Gonna let this do what it needs to do. I'm not gonna try to speed it up or anything like that because, like I said, I've been running into fuel burn issues where I'm not burning enough fuel to get below our max landing weight, which is like 142.2, 142.3. Something like that. What does SimBrief say it is? 142, 198. So I like to just round that. Okay, so what does it say? 142.2. You know, it is what it is. This is this. Ooh. This fuel prediction is incorrect. Like, woefully incorrect. Where are you getting that number from, my guy? Because I highly doubt we're burning 800 pounds between here and there. I could guarantee you that. Let's see if I select the speed and speed us on up to like 80. Does this figure even change? It should change. Nope, that figure's not going to change. So at this point, I'm pretty much guessing what my fuel is going to be at landing. Awesome. We'll see once everything levels off here, but I think we should be good. I'm gonna crank it on up to 0.7, but I'm at 80. So I'll crank it on up to 80, And I think we should be fine for our landing weight here. Yeah. Yeah, we should be perfectly fine for our landing weight. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. We're already on the arrival, so what we can do is we'll get our... we'll hide this. We'll get the chart out here. We're coming in on this part of the arrival, so we'll go plan 10 nautical miles over welts are ready. Next fix is going to be... Is McD a transition or not? Because it should be welts. The Shane 2, welts transition. Do you 053 and 054? Oh, there we go. There's McD. Sorry. Don't know how I missed that. And then we got Cashin, Vinca, Maroc at between 24 and 27,000 feet. Then Kelts at or above flight level 200. Then Fenbar between 17 and flight level 200. Then Tried between 15 and 16,000 feet. Then Shane at 12,000 feet. Then we get Rags, Jumpin', and News. So probably once we get to Shane, I'll probably just proceed direct to Gibbons to make that more of a smooth transition onto the ILS here. So we have Gibbons. It's going to be, I think, well, there's no at or above, but the next fix should be an at or above, right? Barry. Yeah, Barry at or above 9,000 feet. Then we got Cooper at or above 8,000 feet. Kayla at or above 7,000 feet. Peepal at or above 6,000 feet. Shard at or above 5,000 feet. Rita at above 4,000 feet. Ray is at or above 2,300 feet. And from Ray to the runway, it's about 4 miles. And about 5 miles. 5 miles in a 3-degree glide slope. So that looks good. The runway 10 center for the missed approach. It's going to be a climb to 4,000 on a 093 heading. And inbound on the Chicago Heights. 336 to the VOR, and we'll hold there. So we'll intercept the radial inbound to Chicago Heights, and we'll hold there 4,000 feet. That looks good. Alrighty. Also, while we have a little bit of time here, let's go ahead and put you back on flight plan. We just reviewed the flight plan. Rad nav. We have ISXH 108. 0.95, 093 is the final approach course, 094, close enough. 3-degree glide slope progress page. We want Chicago O'Hare. Runway 10 center. 10 center. There we go. Performance approach page here. Let's go ahead and put in some arrival data, shall we? Nope, I still needed that. QNH is 3005. Temperature is 16. And the winds are 030 at 6. There we go. Let's see. Minimums are going to be 869. We'll plan on flaps full for now. Pretty light wind. Flaps full, and we'll go low auto brakes Excellent. Let's see, where are we in relation to our top of descent? We still have a pretty decent ways to go till we get to our top of descent. But so while we're here and we're cruising along, we'll ask our Ghost FO if he's ready for a briefing. Yep, alrighty. Any threats? The biggest threat being the transition from the arrival to the approach. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, to mitigate that, especially since we don't have ATC online, once we cross Shane at 12,000, we can go direct to Gibbons, and that way we can get better vertical guidance on the arrival there. That sounds like a good plan to me. We both reviewed the arrival. It's the Shane 2. Our first restriction is Merock at or between flight level 240 and 270, with the bottom side being Shane at 12,200, or sorry, 12,000 feet. There is no speed restriction. So there we go. Plan on doing the what was the weather again? I think it's mostly visual. Actually, it might be. It's broken 6,000. I would say the visual backed up with the ILS, since it's broken at 6,000, but it's kind of hard to tell. I'll just brief the whole thing. So that's going to be chart 21-6 dated 1 September 23. The frequency is going to be 108.95. The final approach course 0903. Rate is at 2,300 feet. The minimums are going to be 869. Touchdown zone is 669. And the MSA around the airport 3,400 feet, all quadrants. We're using flaps full and low auto brakes. If we need to go miss, plan on a soft go around. It'll be a climb to 4,000 on a heading of 0903 and inbound on the Chicago Heights 336 radio to Chicago Heights and hold. There's a PAPI on the left, ALSF2 lighting, and when we do land, plan on making a left-hand turn off on one of the forward high speeds. So up a 3, 5, or 6, and I really don't know how they do it down here. So your guess is as good as mine. They could, because I think they like departing non-stop. I don't know. We could take it down to Echo Echo or Golf, probably. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. We could come back on Papa to like Charlie Charlie and cross there to like Alpha. It could get really messy. In fact, actually 9 center would probably put us closer to the correct side of the airport. That's okay, because that's where United Park, so this whole area right here. So we'll see. There's no place across a Foxtrot, so we'll probably take Echo Echo or Golf Golf, one of those, and then we'll hit Alpha. Come over here, Lima Alpha, something like that, and we'll take it all the way into the ramp. Kind of a long taxi. It is what it is when you come to Chicago. So, anything else you want to add to that briefing? Nope. Excellent. I don't know, the simulator looks especially good tonight. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Which gate? I have no clue what gate. Max Racing. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Glad you were able to join up. Let's see. I'm kind of scared to do it on the tablet because the tablet has this weird thing where it doesn't like being zoomed in or out on. It like refuses to load. There we go. It's actually doing it. So I don't know. Be somewhere down here, I guess. That seems logical. Right, Max Racing? I don't know what it is. I don't know if like Microsoft did something, or like is my internet connection better today than it has been on other days, but you look at just how clear everything looks today. Yeah, the sim looks great. The airplane looks great. I mean, I don't know. Everything just seems to be firing on. This is going to be the kiss of death right here. I'm talking about how well everything is looking right now, and then the sim's going to crash like on a 1 mile final. I can just tell everything is just going too well. That's not allowed to happen. You said maybe Bravo 11. Let's look here. Bravo 11. So like right here. Yeah, we could do that. I'll do that. I don't have any GSX profile set up, so hopefully it's not like overly generic parking there, but it is what it is. I'm not mad about it. About 35 miles out from our top of descent here. We keep on pushing a little bit longer before I slow it up and we begin our descent. How do y'all do the HF and cell call test before you go over the body of water? It's actually really simple. So before you actually go over a body of water, Max Racing, in New York or Miami or whoever it is going to give you the HF frequencies that are in use at that time. So they give you the primary, and then they'll give you a backup in case you can't get into one of the primary. And what you do before you actually enter non-radar airspace is you will, and it doesn't really work in this at the Fenix, but I'll pretend it does. We shall pretend it works in the Fenix. Let me clear out this company message here real quick. United Ops, yeah, okay. Let's go back over here to performance. Play plan. So even though it doesn't work in the Fenix, so you usually have whatever frequency, let's call it 1287 or 12751, something like that. I don't know, 12750. All right, so you'll flip that over, and in order to actually hear and transmit on that frequency, you have to select that radio, and then you got to key the mic once to tune the frequency. And usually, so I just key the mic. You can't hear it. It doesn't actually work on the sim. But once you key the mic, then you'll hear a little tone in your headset, and a little boop. That's the airplane tuning in that frequency. Now you're tuned in, and you'll be able to hear New York radio. And then once you're on New York radio, you say is United 4617 over Vinca, cell call check or something like that. So you'll say who you are. Obviously, you always say who you're talking to. So New York radio, United 3318 over Vinca, cell call check. And you don't even have to say that. Usually they'll automatically do a cell call check. And if you, let's say Vinca was a mandatory reporting point, then what you would do is you have a few things you got to do here. So we'll go to progress and report. So you would say New York Radio, United 3318, overhead Vinca at 1339, flight level 330, estimating Marak at 1343, next Celts, fuel on board 12.3. And then they would repeat all of that information back to you to make sure they got it correct. And you would say after they repeat it back to you, then soon afterwards they'll say stand by for SOCAL check, and your flight plan has your SOCAL on it. That's on your flight plan, so they know what your SOCAL is, and so you'll hear them pressing some buttons in the background, and then all of a sudden you'll hear the usual airbus, and there's your SOCAL. So once you hear that, you say SOCAL check okay, or SOCAL check complete, something like that, to let them know that you got it. Let's see. Chicago Center is actually online. 134875. Okay, Chicago Center is online. And I forgot to descend. What are we? 134875. So let me get back on this. Hello, Center. United 3318, flight level 330. Before it's up. We have the Shane 2, and I forgot to start descending here, but we would like to start descending via the Shane 2. Cross Shane and maintain 2000 for United 3318. Excellent. There we go. So we'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign going back on as we start going downhill. How far off schedule are we? 4,000 feet, they say. All right. Well, it is what it is. Oh, at least center is on, so we're gonna have center and ground are on. That's very interesting. Power's not on though. That's okay. 121.9 is ground. So what we can do to get back on profile, since we're so high, is I can come in here and change my descent profile to 320 knots, let's say. And so now the aircraft is going to dip its, well, it will slowly start speeding or dipping the nose as that speed is allowed to come up. Go ahead and get the LS push buttons on there. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Max Racing. And like I said, with the way technology is trending nowadays, you'll no longer have to do any of that. That's CPDLC, everything. So every time you cross a reporting point, the airplane automatically sends it. And really what that cell call check is for is so HF is very gurgly. You hear a lot of static on HF. So it's nice to have that cell call so that if New York Radio wants to talk to you, they can call you without you paying attention to HF, because a lot of time what you'll do is you'll check in, you do your thing, and then once it's complete, you'll turn it off, because otherwise you're just listening to static the entire time. There we go. Go back up to our profile. Easy squeezy. Looks like Gray's no speed break descent streak was busted. I know. I mean, theoretically, I wouldn't have had to use the speed brakes if I had just changed the descent profile to be a 340 knot descent. So that's that's a one more trick in your bag right there. But yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose some. I try not to descend with the speed brakes out. It's just, well, personal preference. There's no shame in your game for using it either, especially in a 321. You have to use it a lot of times in a 321.
Did you say 30 minutes?
Wow. 30? Log off that sim, bro. What are you doing? Going to like pick up a pizza? Even the VanSim controller was like, did you say 3 minutes or 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Huh, okay. We'll be back when he gets back, I guess.
American 689, if you gotta leave 30 minutes, you're gonna have to disconnect from the network.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, I figured they weren't going to allow that. That seemed like that'd be over the top right there. Let's go ahead and get the wing lights on. And the current altimeter, do we have an ATIS there? There's Delta. Nope, wrong one. Information is hotel and 3005. So transition 3005 said once, twice, and thrice. Descent checklist. Altimeter is 3005. Auto brake is low. Perfect approach page is set. Arrival briefing reviewed. Shane 2 visual approach backed up with the ILS to runway 10 center. Status is checked. I want to go ahead and check that just to make sure. There we go. Descent checklist is complete. We'll expect the ILS to runway 10 center for United 3318. Thank you. Excellent. I love it when a plan goes. I love it when things go to plan. 35 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. He came back and said, "Nah, you gotta disconnect for that." Yeah. It's like I said. What are you doing? You going to pick up a pizza somewhere, or? It's kind of like a long time to be away from the PC, especially online. I mean, I get it if you need to take a number 2, but I mean, make your number 2 a little bit quicker than that. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and pause our in-flight entertainment right here. Oh, that's the bottom side of this. Okay, I was going to say, why are we leveling off at 15? We should be going down to 12, which we are. Once we get to 12,000 feet, I'll bring that speed all the way back to 250 knots because I'm not trying to speed around here in Chicago at 320 knots. You say number 2 only 5 to 10 minutes, right? That's why I'm like, I have no clue what you're doing, man. It's you don't need to be on TikTok for that long, right? For some reason, every time I try to walk to the lavatory, there's turbulence. Right? You're just like, oh man. All right. It's I don't have to get it back. I can hold it. I can hold another 15 minutes. I can hold another 15 minutes, right? Let's go ahead and select our speed. We'll bring it on back to 250 knots. And then you're like, oh no, I can't hold it anymore. But it's been smooth this entire time. The second you get out of your seat, right? Have you seen that Key and Peele skit where the guy's got to go to the bathroom, and the captain comes on, and it's like he turns on the fasten seatbelt sign because they're gonna be flying through some turbulence, and the guy takes the seatbelt off to go to the bathroom, and the flight attendant goes, "Sir, the fasten seatbelt sign is on. We're expected to fly through some turbulence, so you might want to take a seat." That's a hilarious skit. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you see that skit.
United 3318, turn right heading 020 to set up maintain 9,000.
020 9,000 for United 3318. 9,000. We'll go ahead and select that 020. I will extend off of Gibbons, direct to Gibbons, radial in. We'll go ahead and do that, and I'll insert that. We'll pull our heading again. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. There we go. We'll go ahead and get all of our lights on, and let's go ahead and get our replay started. Yep, let's go ahead and do that. Excellent. Replay is started. We are going down, right? Like, come on. Let's see.
United 3318, turn right heading 050 to set up maintain 7,000.
050 7,000, United 3318. 050 and 7,000 now. Let's go ahead and I will bring up the approach plate so we know what we're looking at here. 7,000 over Kilo. So we should be good in terms of our descent. Not really picking up the localizer yet. We're so far out.
United 67 heavy to set up maintain 5,000.
So if we actually do get cleared for the ILS or intercept the localizer, I'll just manage it.
United 3318, turn right heading 090.
090, United 3318. Okay, very interesting vectors we're getting here. I'm going to turn the brightness down a little bit since we don't need that anymore. We're plus 11, so we're fine with the engine anti-ice. That all looks good. That's a very interesting one. What, in Chicago? I mean, I think they all smell the same to me. I don't know. I guess any terminal that has Garrett's in it is gonna smell the best. I don't know.
United 3318 to set up maintain 6,000.
center maintain 6,000, United 3318. 6,000. Yeah, strangest vector I've ever seen as well at any airport. I mean, the answer stays the same. any terminal that has a Garrett's is probably going to smell the best. Simply because that fresh popcorn wafting through the terminal is just absolutely top notch. But like on the other side of that, I haven't like gone through a terminal that has smelled like just, you know, objectively offensive. So we're level here at 6,000 feet, 250 knots. Let's see. Let's go ahead and activate. I have control of the speed, so we'll activate the approach phase. Confirm that. That looks good.
67 heavy, fly heading 110, intercept the localizer.
Are we gonna be behind this guy? I want my spacing from that heavy. Does he want 9 left? He said 10 center, specifically 10 center, and the 9s are on the north side of the airport. So the 10s are on the south, the 9s are on the north side of the airport. So we're still south of the airport.
United 67 heavy, 23 miles from O'Hare, maintain 5,000 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS, Friday 10, set our approach.
Okay, I think he's trying to vector us behind this guy right here, which is why we're getting weird vectors.
You'll be following a heavy Boeing 777, casual wake turbulence.
Roger, United 3318. Awesome, just perfect. Just give me my 5 miles. That's all I ask. Just give me my 5 miles.
United 3318, turn left heading 070, intercept the localizer.
070 to intercept a 10 center localizer for United 3318.
United 67 heavy, maintain 170.
So we'll just do that. We're still pretty far out. So what I'll do is 070. That's okay. Okay, my guy. And we'll just manage that up until I get a localizer signal.
United 3318, 23 miles from O'Hare, maintain 6,000 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS, Friday 10, set our approach.
Already cleared for the ILS 10 center approach for United 3318.
United 3318, maintain 170 knots till the 5-mile final.
170 knots till 5-mile final for United 3318. Okay. I'm eating this 777's lunch, is what he's saying. Alrighty, there we go. I got a localizer signal, so that's good. I'll go ahead and arm that up then. Bring you back in. All is looking right with the world. He's going to give me some really good spacing on this heavy. Because right now that heavy's 8 miles in front of us, so I am not too worried about that right now. I think we should slow to 210 knots. Well, yeah, we're doing quite fine. Ops 1 speed verified. Low capture. I'll go ahead and arm our speed brakes.
67 Heavy, ready 10, center, clear to land.
Flaps 2, speed verified. Glide slopes captured. Ish. Set them as approach altitude. That's going to be 4,000 feet. Gear down.
United 3318, ready 10, center, clear to land.
10 center, clear to land for United 3318. Aircraft did not want to maintain 170 knots. That was super weird. Because I put flaps 2 in right just as we intercepted the glide slope, so we got that little balloon, and it didn't want to come back down after that balloon. I have no clue. Or maybe it did, and that was the reason for the speed up. Either way, we're cleared to land. Still got 7 miles on that heavy. I was going to get rid of the approach chart, but, you know, why not? Why not? We'll leave it up there for a little bit. Alrighty, airport is in sight. Alright, let's go ahead and get this aircraft slowed and configured. Flaps 3, speed verified. And the flaps full. Speed verified before landing checklist. Altimeters. We have 3005, 2360. Engine mode is norm. No lav intercept. Landing gear is down and 3 green ECAM memo. Landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. There we go. I'll turn up the sim volumes for you, and I will see you on the ground. So they're using Echo Echo. Stable. All right, a little bit of a crosswind. Stable target sync 6, clear to land.
Hundred above. Minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Deployed. $80. 60. Manual braking, auto brakes off. We'll take the next high speed exit here, which is Papa 6.
Yeah, the 3318, welcome to Chicago, taxi via Papa, Echo Echo, Metro 10 left to Echo Echo.
Ready, Papa and Echo Echo short 10 left on Echo Echo for United 3318.
Yeah, 3318, can you make sure your mode C is on as well as where you going tonight?
Sorry about that. Left it in auto, so mode sheet should be back on, and we'll be parking Bravo 11, Bravo 11 for United 3318, and we do have the default Chicago airport.
Alright, so United 3318, follow the 777 off your nose, cross runway 10 left on the other side, contact ground 121.9.
We'll follow the 777 cross runway 10 left on Echo Echo and .9 on the other side for United 3318. Thanks for the ATC. Have a great night. Alrighty. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
219,
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and go flaps up. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff down here done. Excellent. Good. Yeah. I got the spoilers there. There we go. We'll follow the 777 right off of our nose. What a beautiful landing into Chicago there. I'll keep this up here. Once we begin our left-hand turn, I'll go ahead and call and let them know we're about to be crossing here. 777 has no gear. What's going on? Low ground United 3318 crossing runway 10 left on Echo Echo parking Bravo 11 Bravo 11. We do have the old scenery.
No worries, United 67 Heavy. Continue, actually take your left turn on Lima Lima and then take Alpha Uniform to the gate.
Lima Lima, uniform to the gate 967.
And actually, United 67 Heavy, I'm sorry. Make that first left turn when you can, and then continue on to Alpha. And then United 3318, follow the 777 in front of you.
We'll follow the 777 in front of us for United 3318. Alrighty, we'll follow the 777. That seems to be the name of the game. So the next left is going to be Victor. I think that's what he took, because this is Lima Lima right here.
That's right, left on Alpha.
Did I not get the APU on? I thought I got the APU on. Let's do that. Excellent. So we'll take a left here on a Victor. A Victor to Alpha. Alpha turns into uniform. These are all kind of weird here. That's okay. Also, I think the centering gets it wrong. But we're here on Alpha. Alpha should turn into uniform. That should take us all the way around to our terminal. And while I'm behind this 777, no better time to get GSX to say Bravo 11 B 11. There you go. Nope. And we want United 2000. That's what we're going to do. Excellent. Alpha turns into uniform, and we'll just keep hugging the terminal until we get to our area of the terminal. Or I should say our area of Chicago. Really surprised I'm not burning the brakes up on this. Fenix still hasn't done the best in modeling the brakes heating up. Alright, let's go ahead and hide you so I can see where I'm going. Guess we'll enter a Bravo Sierra and take that in. I don't know. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. We'll come in, we'll take this right here. And then we'll take the next left. That's going to be taxi lane Bravo. And we'll take that all the way to Bravo 11. There we go. Imagine having a long taxi. Imagine having to sit here on the tarmac for 45 minutes to wait for a marshaller and then have to go through customs, and then your deadhead is delayed. Brother, you couldn't imagine doing stuff like this where it takes so long to taxi somewhere, and then you get there, then there's no marshaller, and then you get there, and you missed your deadhead by 1 minute. Stuff like this is, but airlines are really, really, really good for taking into account these taxis. They know when you go to a busy airport where the taxi times are longer, they actually put that into your departure and arrival time. So even though the flight only took an hour, and you see that, it looks like the time between your departure and arrival is 2.5 hours. That's because they're expecting a massive taxi on both sides of your flight. So airlines do try to account for that stuff. It's all based on historical averages. So they take all the flights, they average them up. From Springfield to Chicago, they'll take the average block time from out to in, and they average them up, and that's how they come up with your flight time. Where is... I can barely see him. I think this is the gate right here. I can barely see you out there. Are you inside of the car? I think he's inside the car. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn our taxi light off and get rid of you now that I know where we're at. We technically should have one engine taxi to save Earth. Yeah. We won't pretend that we didn't burn a bunch of dead dinosaurs to get here. But yeah, with a taxi that long, especially if you're really light, you'll single engine taxi, so you don't burn the brake. And part of that is so you don't burn the brakes up either. Alrighty, there we go. The brakes are set. The seatbelt sign can go off. Excellent. Engine masters 1 and 2 can go off. We can turn the fuel pumps off. Get the beacon light off. And go ahead and check our fluid levels. That looks good. That's not the one I wanted. Hydraulics are all looks good. No weird status messages, and we haven't leaked any oxygen. We can do a shutdown checklist. Right, for the shutdown checklist, parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake is disarmed. Our radar is off. Wind shear PWS is off. Our fuel pumps are all off. Slides for disarmed. APU is on. The shutdown checklist is complete. Go ahead and go outside. Oh, Chicago is going to be doing Chicago things. Uh-oh. Don't you be doing this now, Chicago. So I think with Sim Update 3, we're going to have the option of, instead of streaming our airports and aircraft, to be able to download our airports and aircraft. What is going on here? It almost, well, no. Yeah, it's definitely a loading issue. As you see, now everything's smooth. Ooh, where'd that 777 guy go? He may be offline already. Yeah. Yeah, he's offline already. Something has eaten the memory here, but there we go. We will leave that there as we finish unloading. We know they have 3 full bins to unload. I'll get some turn music going for us here. And as well, let's see what Camjack Flight Sim is up to here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna unmute him, so that's what you're gonna hear coming on next. There's Captain Flight Sim. He's in the TBM 930 doing his thing there in what was it, the K2 mountain range. So he's up over there near Everest and stuff like that. So flying around in the TBM. Hopefully he's having a good stream there. There we go. Alright, and while that's going, let me go ahead and we can stop the recording. Doesn't you said doesn't Chicago use digital marshaller? I don't. I actually don't know. I don't know. You know what, with GSX, I really don't, I haven't really encountered an airport that has the digital marshalling system, or digital guidance system, whatever you want to call it, DGS, implemented into the airport, unless I specifically go in and set it up to have the DGS. Otherwise, you know, I feel like by default, since I have no GSX profiles, by default everything is just a marshaller. So I think that's why on the streams, we'll go ahead and disconnect from FATSIM. There we go. Why on the streams you haven't really seen, and even myself just flying offline or not flying on you know, streaming, I haven't really come across an airport where I've seen the digital guidance system do the self-park thing there. So was that guy in chat yesterday? You talking about Aviation Geek? Oh yes, Aviation Geek. He for sure was in the chat yesterday. Look at him go! Look at the mountains there. Absolutely beautiful. If I had unlimited amounts of money, I would buy myself a TBM. But word to the wise: never buy an airplane. That's there. It's a massive pit stop. If you hate having money, then go ahead and buy an airplane. That way you can throw your money away. But airplanes are just money pits. Very, very, very hard to make a profit, or not make a profit, but very, very hard to have an airplane, keep it running, keep it in tip-top shape. If you don't have the finances to do it, you want to definitely be able to afford stuff, because on things like a TBM, like you're talking about $1 million engine and stuff like that. So like things can get pretty expensive pretty quickly if you need the stuff done. Replacing engines, replacing props, replacing windows, replacing gear, tire, oil, all that stuff. It all comes at a cost. So that's why I always say if I had unlimited amounts of money, that's what I would do. Alrighty, let's see. Did they, are we done boarding from the inside here? Or deplaning from the inside? Nope. Alright. We have our people here. Like our nice United stewardess. Oh, Max Racing, thank you for heading on over to Captain Jack Flight Sim. Really do appreciate that. I'm sure he greatly appreciates that as well. Thank you very much, Max Racing. Thank you. He's got a great little channel over there. Alrighty, I think that is all done. Yep, I think we're all done here. Let's go ahead and head back up to our flight deck here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute Captain Jack Flight Sim. I'll continue watching him once we are done with the replays here. I'll go ahead and dismiss that. Let's go ahead and let's see. Do the ready state here, and we will activate that. Great stream today. Thank you very much, buddy. Really do appreciate that. Also, I really do appreciate you heading over to Captain Jack Flight Sim. I'll wait for these gray boxes to be not grayed out. There we go. I'll go ahead and close that door. I like to turn all this stuff off so we don't get all of those annoying things. Excellent. And now that, well, we're still waiting on that. However, we are positively off of cabin door open. That's why I could hear it. Okay. Ground surfaces, cabin door. Now that went away. Excellent. Let's go ahead and start our replay, shall we? So we shall load a replay, and number 1, here we go. And a play. There we go. Let's get ourselves to
Speed.
Ooh, let me turn that sim volume down so it's not earth-shatteringly loud. There we go. Still very loud, but that's okay. Beautiful landing. Just a little bit of float, but I will take it. Well, even from this view, you can't even see the north runways. That's how big Chicago O'Hare is. There's the 1,000-footers. Just kind of settled into... Oh, absolutely beautiful. I'll take that every day. I wonder. Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, does the 320 not have the Florence kit on it? Just a little float, just enough to get that flare in there. Perfect. Why can't I do that every single time? If I could do that every single time, I'd 100%. There's no such thing as the best pilot in the world, but if I could do that every single landing, I'd be the best pilot in the world. Alright, a little off center line, but got it corrected right after the mains touchdown. Alright, yep. Let's, I don't know where I want it to be. Alright, let's get, let's get the... Nope. I still want this. However, we will get the over the numbers shot. I've been trying to get some... vary up the replays here, do something a little different. Now that I'm slowly getting used to the drone camera. So we'll do the 1,000 footers. No. Let's do over the numbers. So we'll do over the numbers and what about right? That height looks good to you? I think that looks good to me. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and play that. Little wobbly there. You could definitely tell, like, I'm looking down instead of down the runway. I'm looking down at the ECAM. So that's the pros and cons of just having one person. Is instead of focusing on the center line, you know, you got to look down and away from the runway. To make sure the spoilers deployed and all that fun stuff. Alrighty. Wow. But yeah, you can see definitely, I think the wind was coming from the left, right? Yeah, look at that windsock. So wind was definitely coming from the left. As I'm crabbed to the left there just a little bit. I was trying to get the right or the left wing to dip down just a little bit. Wasn't able to get that. But you know, I'll figure it out. The more I get used to my rudder pedals and adjusting the rudder curves. I have like 5 different curves set on it, or 6. So I got 10 point increments and then 0 curve at all. So you know, I have plenty of stuff to play with. Let's run this on back to do the final replay here. There we go. Excellent. I'd like to thank Max Racing. Thank you very much for joining the stream this evening and even taking the time to go over and give Captain Jack Flight Sims channel a little bit of love. I really do appreciate that. Tomorrow, we're going to be taking the Delta A330-200 from Detroit to Atlanta, so we can definitely plan on doing that. Until I see you at the next live stream, my name is Gray Eagle, Sim Pilot. Peace.